Welcome to this episode of Meditations for the Anxious Mind. Today's meditation finds us in a session with your mentally deranged therapist. Don't mind me. I will be here, but I won't be listening. I might hear what you say, but I won't be listening. As you sit in the dusty brown chair, you squirm around to find your place of comfort. These chairs were designed by Russian spies and sold in IKEA, so there is no comfort, never any comfort. Your chair is facing away from the door. Your therapist, a slender, frightened man in his 40s wearing a cap and a vest. He keeps talking about himself.
Yeah, I've had a really bad time of it ever since my dad shaved my head and made me run around in my underwear in the front garden, telling everyone it was Britney Spears and the year was 2006. He made me tell everyone in earshot, and everyone in the estate laughed at me and slapped the back of my legs for good luck. This was only last Christmas, man. He was playing Spin 103.8 on a stereo full blast and I couldn't make out any of the words because my head was screaming at me, telling me I'm a bad person and I deserve this. Then in January I broke up with my girlfriend because I started getting this idea in my head that she was a talent scout and wanted me to go on the X Factor. She never actually said it, but I knew that's what she meant. Then I became friends with this guy online who stole my bank details and found out my home address and arrived at my front door just to kick me half to death. So I've decided I'd give this a go. I always wanted to help people with their problems.
You fall into a state of memory loss. You succumb to the inertia and just sit there waiting for the hour to be over.
I liked the guy in an hour ago way better than you. He was so fucked up. You'd want to hear what he said about his mother, man. Still, not as cool as my own stories, but yeah, I've heard enough of you. Bring back Mother Boy. We'll have Mother Boy. It's Groundhog Day, and his brains are ripe for a picking.
You begin to feel a sense of agitation.
We've been here for 23 minutes, and all you've done so far is talk about yourself. Aren't you supposed to be my therapist? Therapist? I'm not a therapist. I'm a life coach.
He says,
You don't get to become a therapist by taking a 4-hour course online and going on a date in Wetherspoons with your lecturer. I didn't pass the course, but let's just say I went back to his place and I had a good rifle through his medicine cabinet, if you catch my drift, man. Just joking. There was no drift. I just rifled through his medicine cabinet. And here I am. Like I said, my life has been pretty tough. So, yeah, I thought it'd be cool to try something mad like this out.
you feel unsafe and sit, squirming, in an uncomfortable dusty chair, facing away from the door with this maniac. There is no means of escape.
So, how can I trust you?
You ask nervously.
You can trust me because every night my memory gets reset by a computer. After work every day I go to a conference of other life coaches.
We call ourselves the Life Team.
I tell them all the information I've gathered that day and it's saved onto a database, so that's cool. After that I'm brought into a bright room with heavy machinery and I walk out and don't remember how I even got there in the first place. Then the men in white lab coats restrain me and throw me out of the building. It's confusing, but I've grown to like it. It's pretty hot.
You feel like running, but there's nowhere to go. This life coach will forever be etched in your memory, and you in his database.
So why would you collect my personal information and save it on a database?
The life coach looks at you blankly.
No idea, man, but you have to admit it's pretty funny. Funny? I came in here trusting you with my emotional baggage and you abused me by breaking my anonymity Now there's people going around that know all my secrets, and I'll never know who they are. Oh, you know them all right.
The life coach says with a devious cackle.
A lot of these life coaches are undercover and they'll never reveal their intentions, so they could be anyone. They could even be close friends or family and you would never know. Sometimes they give themselves away because they're always laughing at you whenever they see you. They know your secrets, bud.
Doom enters, and panic stays like a lingering smell of vomit.
So who gives the life coaches these orders then?
You ask. The life coach stares.
Are you really asking me that? The Life King, of course. He's our leader. He says if we collect personal information on others, then we'll be okay someday, and we'll be free from our minds. But don't tell anyone I told you that. He'll kill me. He has a good heart, but he'll kill us all and take pleasure in it. Surely there must be a way to stop the Life King.
You suggest.
This may not work, man, but I have an idea. Why don't you work with us on the inside and try to overrun the Life King so you can free us all?
The life coach insists eagerly. With some deliberation, you ask.
If I do it, how do I become a life coach? That's easy, man.
The life coach responds.
All you have to do is tell them that you're crazy, but not dangerous crazy, just normal crazy, and you don't want to hurt people, but you will break a few omelets to eat an egg. I think you've got the phrase mixed up.
You say with your hands clasped over your face. The life coach acts like you're not even there and continues.
And then you'll do an interview with the Life King and see if you're trustworthy.
You clear your throat.
Okay, book me in for an interview with the Life King tomorrow then.
You see the life coach furiously scribbling something into his notepad.
What are you writing about there?
You ask nervously.
Oh, nothing, man. I've just seen what your dismembered head would look like on a cow's body. Not a good look on you, buddy. I am not impressed.
You tense up in fear and almost swallow your tongue.
Anyway, that's our time up now, buddy. I'll see you next week.
Your dreams and life blur into one desperate mess. Your grip on reality. It slips, always slipping. You walk back towards the box room you're renting, straddling down the street and dragging your feet. You see a crumpled can of Diet Coke on the warm tarmac. You kick it down the road for a while. You look at yourself in the reflection of a parked bus. You keep gazing at yourself for a while, thinking,
oh God, I'm such a ride. It's a shame my life is falling apart.
You snap out of it and realise there's an old man staring back at you. You look away, and then you look back. You rub your eyes. You hear a voice in your head.
That's the Life King. Go to him and speak.
You start making long strides towards the parked bus. You don't want to start running because you'll scare him, and because you don't want to seem desperate to the rest of the people on the bus. So you walk as if you have nowhere important to be. You just about make it onto the bus and have also maintained whatever dignity was left. As you sit down, the bus starts to drive off, flinging you into the lap of the Life King. He has a face like an onion left out in the sun. Kind eyes. You sense they hide a fiery heart.
Is everything okay, young man?
You look puzzled, and the tension rises up from your chest, spreading all over your body like a hot blanket of wet cement. Oh, how it sticks to you.
Let's see. No! I'm not okay! But you know all about that, wouldn't you, Life King? I know you're spying on me, and I know you're collecting my personal information to save on a database, so you and your life coach Goonies can have a rapturous feast at my own personal expense.
A look of terror is penciled on the old man's face. He's lost for words, so just looks at you in disbelief. His hands are shaky, and he's gripping onto the bus pass for dear life.
Wow, this guy is good.
You think to yourself,
Posing as a scared old man on a bus when really he knows all my secrets. Yeah, He must. He might make a documentary about them and publicly humiliate me for money. The bus pass. Maybe that's the key to a secret power.
A feeling of anger turns to survival instinct. You prise the bus pass out of his hand.
Give me that!
People around you gasp, but say nothing.
Now, not so great are you now, Life King, huh? Right now you just look like a fearful old man who's missing a bus pass. What do you think of my secrets now?
The old man begs.
Please, give me back my bus pass. I need it to travel. I'm going to my grandson's football match.
The other passengers are growing increasingly uncomfortable. A tall man with brown greasy long hair and chunky wireless headphones taps you on the shoulder.
Mate, give him back his bus pass. You're making everyone uncomfortable here and you're tormenting an old man.
You're being attacked from all angles here. This is so not fair on you.
Aha! What do we have here?
You say, still looking at the Life King.
Is this one of your life coaches? I knew you sent him to follow me.
The tall man is still standing over you.
Oh, serious, leave him alone.
You turn around and try to reason with this ape.
Look, don't you understand? He knows all my secrets and he's going to publish them for all the world to see so that everyone will think I'm weird. And that's the last thing I want. I am not weird, okay? Now I know you're just doing your job and following the Life King's hidden request, but please, cease!
The man realises what he's dealing with and calmly starts to walk off the bus. You hear faint chatter between him and the bus driver, and the greasy long-haired man gets off the bus. You hear the bus driver speaking on a walkie-talkie. You don't hear a word he's saying, but you're sure it has to be about you. After all, it always has been. The bus pulls over for a few minutes and you start to see flashing blue and red lights appear behind you. You turn around to the Life King and whisper in his ear.
Well, you're fucked now anyway. I should be up here any minute.
You wait calmly and contently to receive the praise you deserve from the Garda for apprehending this criminal mastermind. Two burly Garda walk down the aisle of the bus.
He's over here!
You roar. The Garda looks at you and screeches.
Disturbance of the peace! Get him!
They grab you kicking and screaming.
Ah! No! No, you got the wrong guy!
In the struggle you end up dropping the old man's bus pass. As you're being lifted down the stairs, you see the old man pick up the card, and for a split second his eyes turn into a serpent and he winks at you, saying,
Better look next time.
The last thing you remember is getting an injection from the Garda. You wake up in your own bed. It's 11:37 a.m. the next morning. You scurry to the bathroom with splash water on your face. You notice the mirror is dirty, but so is the cloth you used to wash it before. So you just leave it alone. You sit down on the mattress on the floor of your bedroom. You fall into an unknowable fear, and that's the last thing you remember. You get a phone call off an unknown number.
Hey, it's me, the life coach. Do I have you booked in for a session today, man? I can't remember what happened yesterday. Anyway, looking forward to meeting you. Take care.
You hang up the phone, slowly pulling the bed sheets back over your head, and fall back into a frightful sleep. Thank you for joining me on this meditative journey. And don't forget to subscribe to my Patreon at Meditations for the Anxious Mind. Goodbye.